Do 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 do. Are we live? I think we're live. Hi, hello everybody. Here's a quick but probably one of the most profound ideas or concepts that was introduced to me that allowed me to shift from always wanting success but never actually living it, and to always be the big dreamer with goals of being a millionaire and having all the toys and all of the stuff, and actually bridging that gap so that I could experience it in real life, so to speak, and not just in my imagination. And I suggest that you do what I did, which is write this down and commit it to memory and use it on a regular basis to help you access what we talked about a few times back, the objective observer, which is simply put, no results plus a good story does not equal results. I'll say it again. No results plus a really good story, no matter how great, no matter how true it may be, does not equal results. So when you're applying the WMN compass that we talked about several days back as well, where we talked about what's working, what's missing, what's next, and taking an inventory of where are you now in relationship to where it is that you say you want to go, then ask yourself, so that you're not falling into self-delusion, is, am I tempted to say because? What I mean by that is, well, I didn't have this happen because blah, 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 blah. Whatever comes after the word because, you can be sure, absolutely sure, is a justification for why you didn't see the results that you want to see in your life. Now, why we don't want to own up to these lack of results is because of the judgments and the blame and all of the criticism that we place on ourselves, or that we imagine other people are placing on us. And it could be actual real life stuff that's being hoisted upon our shoulders. It doesn't have to be imaginary. However, it's still a justification. It's still a judgment. It's still a criticism. And in order to take an inventory and clearly see where you are in the process, in the journey, you have to be willing to, as I talked about, put on your white lab coat and pretend that you're Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory, or Temperance Brennan from Bones, although Temperance is evolves through the series. But what I'm getting at is that you have to remove the attachments that you have for it looking a certain way, or the feelings that you have about yourself, the judgments, all of that stuff, and just simply break it down to what were the results that I was looking to achieve, and did that happen or didn't it happen? And there's no need to justify it. That's a waste of time. That's a waste of your energy. That's a waste of your focus. The thing to just acknowledge is, did it happen or didn't it happen? Or did it bring me closer to where I wanted to be, or further away from where I wanted to be? And it's really useful to be able to segue in both our own language, to be able to listen to what we're saying, because what ends up happening is that we put these justifications out unconsciously, and we've been conditioned to do it, and we do it so automatically that we don't even notice that we're doing it. But if you start to tune into the word in your language when you're either thinking it or when you're saying it to somebody else, and you have a tendency to say because, well, then just say to yourself, wait a minute, that's the key phrase to know that I am perhaps, let's not just get into blaming, but let's just acknowledge that it could be going on, doesn't have to be, that I perhaps may be thinking about this from a standpoint of trying to justify it and tell myself or tell other people a really good story as though that's going to somehow change the results that either happened or didn't happen, or alter them in some way, or make an excuse to allow it to be. The other thing that is kind of fun to do is begin to listen to other people's mental conversations with themselves and how they justify it to themselves and how they justify it to you, so that you can start to see it, because it's a lot easier to see it in others than to see it in ourselves first. And if you get good at hearing and listening to the justifications, the stories that somehow are supposed to magically shift what is the actual results, and give yourself a break. You know what I mean? Is that again, the problem that we get into is when we hold these judgments, when we hold these conversations with ourselves, and the blame as though it's good or bad. Just try to acknowledge and say, based on this, without judgment, without trying to put blame on myself, without feeling bad about myself, did it happen or didn't happen? And then, did it bring us closer to where we wanted to be or further away from where we said we wanted to go in terms of living our results, so that we're not getting hung up on coming up, because oftentimes we waste so much energy and so much time trying to make ourselves feel less bad by justifying it with a good story. And it's completely unnecessary. And guess what? It doesn't work anyway, because deep inside, you know that you didn't live up to what you were looking to accomplish. So it's a waste of time. And when we think about it, we spend so much time trying to come up with the justification, with the story that we're going to tell ourselves or somebody else. And it's with little things too. I mean, let's say you commit to meeting somebody or calling somebody or a certain time frame for an appointment, and you miss it or you're late. And the first thing that we want to do is we want to come up with a really good story for why we're late, as though somehow it justifies that situation. And all of that's a waste of time, and people don't believe it anyway, because they've gotten used to, if you're chronically late, they've gotten used to that being the outcome that they expect from you. Anyway, I think you get the point, and it's a really powerful tool. No results plus a good story does not equal results. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.